Hey, Miss Cissy. Boy, it sure was great talking with you after all these years. I was just smiling ear to ear the whole time we was talking. So this is it. This is Sierra Denali EV, and they are amazing. It is just such a cool vehicle. Now, what you're seeing in the video, you've got some weird looking, like almost flashing going on in the headlights. That is not visible to anybody outside of the video, I should say, because it's different frame rates in the video and everything. I can't see that in real time. It just looks like that because of the frame rates on the video. But this is a really cool truck, and we've got a lot to talk about. So this is, of course, Denali is the top of the trim levels at GMC, and Denali is a great place to be. It means luxury and stuff, and just a really cool truck. Let's start the tailgate here. So you've got two buttons. This is for your traditional tailgate. This is the sort of cutout that you see here. You see this cutout, and then when you open both of them up at the same time, you end up with some steps. So pretty cool, especially if you've got bad knees like me. And now you can just let yourself up in here very easily. There's an LED light here, there's one over here, and they point at opposite corners of the truck. There's also a bunch of, you'll see a bunch of outlets over here, which is really cool. So in it, if you have all the sort of battery stuff that you need, an inverter and everything that you would need attached to your house, you can actually run a lot of the stuff on your house for up to 21 days. Now that's not going to be, I don't think you could run your your central heating and air conditioning and stuff, but refrigerators and all that other stuff, yeah, it's amazing, particularly in a situation where some of your neighbors are coming from after the hurricanes and everything. This would have been a really great option in that situation. Having said that, and this is all just going to be straight talk like everything else, but having said that, the the batteries and that kind of thing, it's about like, so I was looking for a full home generator for when the power goes off, and to do what we would need for my house and the guest house, we're probably at $17,000-$18,000, and I think to set your home up to be able to reverse the power from this truck back into your home, I think that you're probably in that same pricing range. And I don't know the exact price of it, but I think you're probably in the same pricing range on it. So you've got this bed. You can also get a Bluetooth kicker sound system right here, and so basically that turns these into speakers and this into the Bluetooth system itself, which is great for tailgating or redneck stuff. So neat stuff there. You've also got tie down anchors here. You've got in the different corners, you've got additional cutouts, which you can see. Let me get back up in here. You've got additional cutouts if you wanted to put some more tie down anchors in there as well. Remember, the mid gate, it folds totally down, and I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a second. Better to do it with somebody else, and so maybe I won't show you the entire thing. Back to the tailgate right quick. So now you can see that you've got a little bit extra room right there. And in this situation, if you've got plywood or who knows what, then that would prevent it from sliding out as well. I was carrying, we've got a house not far from here up on Nakalula Mountain, and I was taking a bunch of plywood up there, and it's really steep. I went the back way, and it's really steep, switchbacky stuff getting up the mountain. And I lost the same load of plywood twice. Same guy that was following me had to get out of his truck 2 times to help me load back up, which was incredibly embarrassing. But this would have prevented that. So looking in the back seat, so plenty of room back here, which is great. This would be your, smells good in here too. This would be your cup holders. Then you've got heated seats back here as well. There's 2 USB charging ports here, and also a 110 style household outlet right there under as well. Of course, you can see the Bose speakers. The stereo system here boggles the mind. It is so nice. You can spend a bunch of money and not end up there. Does have a panoramic sunroof. You can't open it or side it open or anything like that, but it is beautiful to look through. So you've got that as well. Oh, I forgot to fold the mirrors back out from when I drove it through the car wash. Oh, what did I do with the keys? Okay, so there's a button here to open the front trunk. Which is freaking cool. Now, so this is some of your connectors for charging and stuff. But you can see there is a lot of space up here, just a lot of space, which is really, really neat. And you got another 110 style household outlet, 120. Technically, I can't force myself to say 120 volt, but there it is. So you've got a lot of space up here, and then, you know, closing it is doing that just from the remote here. Going to the inside, and I'm going to start off back here again, show you what that mid-gate stuff, how that works. So basically, you're going to take this, and you would do the same thing over there. Then you would fold this down, right? And it kind of folds flat down. Then you would take the window right here, and that just easily comes out. It's easier to do it with 2 people, so I'm not going to try to do it by myself. But it can be done by yourself, but not while you're filming at the same time. So then you take the window out, and it folds into this, it just lays flat into this little cutout behind the seat here, or forgive me, behind this tailgate, which you're also going to fold down on top of the back of the seats here. And then you've got storage all the way to here, which is phenomenal, especially for your SUP boards and everything. So cool stuff. Going up to the front, there is a heck of a lot of stuff to unpack up here. First of all, there is no forgive me, there is no button to mash to start the vehicle up and to turn it off. There is an off switch, which I'll show you in a minute, but basically you get in with the key and you are good to go. I mean, you are just, and you know, you just put it in gear and take off. So I want to show you a few things. First of all, this sensor here, this is the sensor for Super Cruise. Super Cruise is self-driving, which is fantastic. Over 400,000 miles of roads, mostly, well, all highways and interstates here in the United States. It is not driveway to driveway, but it is highways and interstates, and it's amazing. And it drives better than you can drive, better than I can drive, better than a race car driver can. And basically what you're doing is you're setting the cruise control here, and it's, of course, adaptive cruise control, which means that, adaptive cruise control, the difference between adaptive cruise control and traditional cruise control is adaptive cruise control. If you set it at traditional, I should say, cruise control, if you set the speed at 70 miles an hour and I pull in front of you at 60 miles an hour, if you don't slow down, you're going to eventually hit me. With adaptive cruise control, it uses radar, locks onto my bumper, slows the vehicle down to the same speed I'm going, and then when it's safe to do so, either I get out of your way or you change lanes, then it will speed back up to 70 when it's safe to do so. But Super Cruise and the self-driving, it adds another layer to that. So basically you set your adaptive cruise control at 70 miles an hour, and then you mash this button, which is a Super Cruise button. And then this sensor right here is just monitoring your eyes and your head to make sure that you are looking at the road. And if you start doing this and talking to the person beside you, you'll get 3 warnings. And then after the 3rd warning, it would disengage. But aside from that, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to here, then it is going to do all the braking, all the steering. It will change lanes for you. It will do everything. And it does it safer and better than you can do it. Again, it is a fantastic system and best in the business. It really is. In fact, we were talking about Google stuff earlier, and all of this stuff is a Google-based system. I'm actually going to see if I can pull into some shade so you can see the display a little bit better here. So let me see if that helps. Not really. Right when I say that the sun comes out for the first time today, it makes it even worse. Murphy's Law on that thing. Okay, so I'm going to pull up right here behind this building. And then that's a little bit darker. Okay, so we still got some protective film stuff over this display, so it's hard to see. Same thing with this one. But having said that, let's see if we can get it to pick up a little bit better. So I'm going to push this button right here, and I'm going to cycle through a couple of the different display options. So I'm mashing this button, and now it changed to that screen. If I mash it again, now you've got your navigation and stuff up here, but you still got the core stuff that you need to drive, your miles per hour, fuel, or I shouldn't say fuel, your charging information right there. It says right now we've got another 298 miles of range. And then, of course, there is 5 miles on this particular vehicle. That's what gear you're in. So a lot of information there. And then if I mash this again, this would be your driver assistance. And basically, this is showing you each one of these bars is 1 second of space. So 3 seconds total between you and the car in front of you. If you were driving down the road, the vehicle in front of you would be displayed on this as well. So you would see that. If, for example, if you want to adjust that, you can mash this button right here. And then every time I mash it, I'm taking 1 second or 1 bar out of the equation. So if you're sitting here with 3 bars, then there may be so much space between you and the car in front of you that people are getting in between you and kind of pushing you back. So for you probably want to drive like this, so there's not enough room for anybody to get between you and the car in front of you and push you back like that. So back over here, you have this massive display. And I can't possibly orientate this so that you can appreciate how big this screen is. It is massive. And let's go through some of the stuff on here. Right now, if I mash this button, that's your vehicle status. And there's a lot of information displayed there. Tire pressure, energy information, trip information. You can spin this thing around and interact with different features, different aspects of the vehicle. For example, if I mash that, it's saying there's your tire pressure on it. I can also, do this, and that's your energy efficiency right now, which is not accurate because we're just sitting in a parking lot. There's your energy usage. You can also take a shortcut here, and then all this stuff is just displayed here on this big screen. So there's your tire pressures. Then energy information is here, which is really cool. Back up out of here. Trip information is right here. So a lot of information displayed there. I'm going to go back to the home screen. You got different drive modes. So you can customize your mode here. Normal, or the most economical way to drive would be a normal. Then you've got your off-road mode, and then your towing and hauling mode as well. Google Assistant is cool. So right now, we can do that all the time. Hey Google, set the temperature in here to 62 degrees.
Okay, changing the temperature to 62
Boom.
degrees.
So neat stuff, and it just turned the fan speed up a little bit. Hey Google, turn the fan speed down.
All right, turning down the fan speed by 1.
Hey Google, turn on the front defrost.
Okay, turning on the defroster for the front.
So you get the idea. It'll do a lot of the stuff for you using the Google Assistant. So that way, you can keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the steering wheel. So that is a really powerful feature, and it works amazing. I know all of this stuff probably seems confusing, especially coming from a 2015 F-150. But this is just phenomenal and just so intuitive and easy to use. The Google-based systems in the General Motors vehicles are by far the easiest to use and best in the business. There is not a close second. Over here, this would be your charging information. It's saying right now that we are at 80% charge, or I'm sorry, please forgive me, that's not what it's doing. It's saying that we are, when you charge up the next time, you're going to charge it up to 80%. And I'll explain more about that in a few minutes, but you'll hear that 80% quite a bit. Right here, if I came home and I was going to hook up to a charger, I could hook up to the charger on the wall, plug up to that thing, and then I could set a time when I want it to start actually charging. So I plugged it in now, but I'm also setting this for 11 o'clock tonight, where I can take advantage of off-peak charging to save money on my electricity bill. And you can set this time for anything you want, and you can also set the time for it to stop charging as well. So maybe you only want to charge from 11 o'clock to 5 a.m. or something. You can have it, and even though it's still plugged in, it's only actually charging between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. So that's really cool. Very, very customizable stuff. This right here is you can precondition the vehicle to, you want it always at 72 degrees when you come out in it and get inside of it. So that's a really neat feature also. I'm going to back up here, and then for these we have to sign in, and then you can create a schedule and all that stuff to further customize your charging stuff. So back here now, you do have surround view cameras here, and this is kind of cool. So you've got this cool bracket. The bracket actually changes when I turn the wheel, and of course anything in that red section right there, you're imminently you're going to hit it at some point. So if you don't slow down, so you can see that. This is a cool graphic too, because you see also in this sort of surround view vision side of it, that what the back is doing, but you also see what the front of the vehicle is doing here. So for example, if I'm parked right next to somebody, I might think, oh, I need to, turn at like an angle like that so I don't hit them. Anything that touches this yellow or orange line right here, of course you're gonna, at some point you would end up hitting that. For convenience and stuff, you can customize this stuff quite a bit. Let me back up out of here and then go back into the cameras here. So you can, look out the back, you can look out the front, you can look right here. Maybe you're curious how far away the curb is, you can do that. Maybe same thing on the back, you can do it right there. This is looking down the sides out the front. This is looking down the sides out the back. And let me show you something else while we are looking at these different camera. Well, I'll come back to it. Your trailer ball would be sticking out right there, exactly. Maybe you want to see your bed view and keep an eye on something you got back there, you can do that. So really, really versatile stuff here also. So let me go down a little bit of a rabbit hole right quick. I'm going to go to controls, and then rear wheel steering, or rear steering. So I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm going to go back to my camera views here, and when I'm looking down the side out the back, pay attention to what those wheels do. So this is four-wheel steering, which is phenomenal, because now it profoundly decreases your turning, I don't know if I should say turning radius or turning diameter. You're way smarter than me, so you can probably figure that out. But the four-wheel steering is super cool and really, really handy, particularly in situations where maybe you're in the woods and things get a little tight or whatever. Really, really, really practical and cool stuff there. Backing up out of here, now I'm going to show you something right quick, and it's impossible for me to sort of accurately do this justice, what I'm fixing to highlight. Okay, so the gear shifter's this little stop thing right here. So notice too that by default, if I go in reverse, it shows you the camera pops up, but when I pull it, when I put it into drive, it just switches so you can see what is in the front of you now. It just automatically does that, which is incredibly practical in a situation where you're in a a tight parking lot or who knows what. But the turning diameter, I don't know where we've landed, radius or diameter, is just incredible in this thing, just incredible. So, but I want to show you something here. So now I'm facing forwards, and I'm going to go back into my controls, and now I'm going to hit the crab walk button. this is the dang coolest thing in the whole world. See that? I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's crazy. Okay, so, and now you see the little crab icon is illuminated right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the steering wheel upside down, okay, and basically just like this. And now I'm going forward. The vehicle is actually going diagonal because now all four wheels are turned in the same direction. And instead of like if you were, turning around, they'd be working in unison. So now they're all kind of turned in the same direction. And it's very, very hard to get your head around the feeling of driving in crab walk because, and I know this doesn't do it justice on the camera, but we're going at a diagonal angle and it is my head just cannot even get the math straight on this. And I've got, hard enough time, just figuring out what my middle name is most days because I'm about as smart as a talking monkey. But it's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And just you've always got a smile on your face in this. It's so much fun to drive, and it's incredibly practical. Just a fantastic experience. And it's very, very hard to really kind of put a price tag on that sort of fun factor. I mean, usually, when people are looking at vehicles, and I'm going to take it out of crab walk here, but usually when people are looking at vehicles, they are, gas mileage and warranty and, and that kind of thing. And rarely do you ever hear anybody, talk about fun factor. This gives you fun in spades. It is just, gosh, it is so much fun. We are clearly at different demographics, Miss Cissy, but I would love to own one of these. I would buy one in a skinny minute if I could afford it. I basically don't have 2 pennies to rub together because both of my daughters are 17, taking dual enrollment high school and college, and then I got a 19-year-old boy who's in engineering school. So I've probably never been this poor before, but the fun factor is a real thing. It's and I think it adds another dimension to the overall experience. And it's hard to quantify, and I guess it's different from person to person, what kind of value the fun factor adds to the vehicle. I think it adds a lot, especially for somebody like you who just loves life and loves, living and so appreciative of, of everything. And I think that this is an amazing fit for you. Back to some of these buttons on the home screen. You've got your auto assist park, which is cool. So if I mash this button, whoops, let's see here. Oh, it may not do it in with the 4-wheel steering turned on. Yeah, it's saying it's unavailable. Let me turn off the rear wheel steering, go back out of here, and then so I've got some button mash that maybe I shouldn't have it mashed to use auto park assist. But basically what that does is it will give you a graphic on this display, and it'll ask you, do you want to park on the left or do you want to park on the right, and do you want to parallel park or perpendicular park. And basically you're just going to coast down. It doesn't really work that great here because we don't have lines on the pavement, but basically you're going to drive down the row of parking spaces, and when it finds an open space, it'll turn green and it will do all of the parking for you, which is incredibly helpful in a situation where maybe there's not a space or anything, or not a lot of space or a lot of room, like in a parking garage or who knows what. So that's a neat feature to have. I wish I could show it for you right now. This is cool. So this is your traditional rear view mirror, right? And so no surprises there. If I turn that, it becomes a monitor so that you can see out the back and the camera. So now if I wave my head, or if there's somebody sitting in your back seat, they're not blocked. You've got a bunch of stuff maybe in the back seat, you can't see out the back window. None of that stuff matters because you have full view of your camera right here with using that rear video camera. You can also mash, this is your select button, you can mash that button and you can increase the brightness. You can also change the magnification. You can also change how it's oriented in your screen. I don't know if that's going to show up or not on the camera, but really, really cool feature. Again, loads of practicality in this vehicle. So back to this stuff. The vehicle does come with 3 years of OnStar. OnStar is cool because it's crash assistance, roadside assistance. That's your the subscription that you need for the Super Cruise to work, and you get 3 years of it for free. And the cool thing also is like the crash assistance, for example. So you get in an accident, then somebody's going to come over the intercom system in the vehicle and say, hey, we detected an accident. Is everybody okay? If you don't answer, an ambulance is coming to your location, which is cool. If something happens, it's free towing to the closest GM dealership. So really, really cool stuff. If you get a flat tire, they'll come and change your tire. You can also share all of these benefits with up to 7 other people. If somebody steals your vehicle, you have the ability to shut the vehicle off, and they'll have a GPS location of it, so you can, the cops can, and OnStar and the cops can fetch it back for you. So cool stuff there. Also, really, really neat stuff. The OnStar is also cool because it turns your vehicle into a Wi-Fi hotspot. So, and that's unlimited data for up to 7 devices out to 50 feet away. In this case, it's showing that the Wi-Fi name is this, the password is this, which you don't even ever have to remember this stuff. All you have to do is exit out of here, mash the Wi-Fi button, and you're back in here, and there's your password, there's your Wi-Fi name. And if you don't like what it is by default, you can edit it and name it whatever you want. Same thing applies to the password. Also, if somebody logs in with your permission and they have the password stuff, then you would see all the people displayed underneath here that are logged into your Wi-Fi, and you can throw them off of there if you want to. You can throw everybody off by turning it off, but you can also individually throw people off. So if you had kids, or who knows, somebody's being obnoxious in the back seat, you could throw one of them off of there if you needed to. Back in here, your audio system in here is just, like I said earlier, it's just phenomenal. It's a Bose system. Let's see, this will be your doesn't make sense for me to really turn this up because you cannot possibly appreciate how good it sounds. Then you can also adjust it, the equalizer, and you can add bass, treble. I cannot begin mid-range, treble, whatever you want to do. Here's your fader. You can drag this anywhere you want. If you get lost or you want it dead smack in the middle, all you have to do is hit this refresh button and it puts it right back in the middle. The bass and treble, it sounds amazing. I was listening to that song Edge of 17 in one of these vehicles one day, and I've loved that song since I was probably 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. And I was hearing things musical instruments. Like, for example, there's a dang bongo that is going during the entire length of that song, which I never even knew existed until I heard it here. You can hear, it's just phenomenal. So I'll turn this down because I know you cannot possibly appreciate it through my phone speakers. It will not do it justice. But a phenomenal stereo system in here. Then, you know, you've also got, these would be your sources of audio. So AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, Bluetooth, news, podcast, USB, Alexa, whatever. I'm going to turn that down and then go back to the home screen. Your phone, your maps, pretty straightforward, just like it's Google Maps, of course. You've got it built into the system, and and this is again a massive screen. You can, you know, pinch out, zoom back in. You can recenter it if you get lost here. You come over here, you can also, I think we talked about this earlier, there's all kinds of different screens you can look at, including your navigation. That one, you can't interact with it very much, or you can't really interact with it at all. This one, again, you can change it, even the orientation you can change. So really neat stuff there. Different perspectives on here. Keep north up all the time, whatever you want. So, and this is neat also. So you got your GPS up. You can also look for the closest charging stations at any time just by mashing this button with the lightning bolt on it right here. You want to know where your closest restaurants are, shopping, whatever, food. So also, as you're planning your route on here, you can also plan it, like, let's say, for example, you were going from here to back to North Carolina, and it would show you, okay, here's your route. Here's where you need to stop and charge up. If you probably wouldn't have to charge up, but if you had to stop and charge up along the way, it would show you exactly where you needed to stop and charge up, how long you would be charging at each charger. So again, you got about 440 miles of range on a full charge. So neat, which is very compelling. Over here, this is kind of a big sub menu here. So if I mash this, then you've got a heads-up display, which I doubt you can see very well. Can you see that 0 right there? That 0 miles per hour right there. If you wanted to, and that's just sitting on your windshield, basically floating on the windshield right there. And then, so you could raise it or lower it right here. You could rotate it. Why you need to do that, I have no idea. And then you could increase the brightness of it or dim the brightness of it down right there. So neat stuff there. Back to your controls. That's your heads-up display, your dome light options, power windows, your cameras, which we already looked at, traction control. I would never mess with that. Auto high beams is cool. So basically it stays in high beam if you have this highlighted or initiated all the time, and then when it gets unsafe for another driver that's either coming towards you or you're coming up behind somebody, it automatically goes dims the headlights down. So I don't know about you, but I'm awful about, particularly in curves, about brighten people, because my vehicle does not have that feature. So that's a cool feature to have, not gimmicky at all. There's your auto parking assist, which we talked about, and I couldn't really show it to you. Your front fog lights are here. These are your parking assist sort of sensors and everything, letting you know. More power information here. This is if you wanted to share your battery with something else, then you could do that in this menu. This is the rear steering. You can turn it on or turn it off right here, and then you'll get a notification on the dashboard that you've initiated that. That's your crab walk that we talked about. You've got some more options here, including doors and windows, lights, drive and park. Universal remotes is cool. So you can add up to 8 different remotes, meaning pairing each one of these different virtual remotes with a garage door opener, which is amazing. And another cool feature is I believe that if you've paired up to a garage door in here, as you get home, when you're pulling your driveway, the screen will automatically pop up here and give you the option to raise that garage door opener right from this screen. So that's cool. Let's see, is there anything else we missed? Not really. In here, this is the app. We put an app on your phone. It's called the My GMC app. And what that does is it allows you to start, stop, lock, unlock, sound the alarm, all of this stuff and a whole lot more from your phone. So you have a key fob, and I'll show you what the key fob looks like. The key fob is lock, unlock, auto start, drop the tailgate. It's got your front trunk that you can open right there and sound the alarm, of course, right there too. There's also a physical key in here as well in case the battery's dead and you need to open the door and pop the hood for so that you could jump something off. But on the app, you can do all of that stuff. Plus, you can disable the vehicle. Or forgive me, that's a separate app. But you can do all that stuff. Plus, you can check the diagnostics. You can check the service intervals, how much tire pressure you have. You can adjust the temperature of the vehicle when you auto start it. And you can do this stuff from anywhere in the world. I remember in high school, you and I think Glenn Marlowe bumped into each other in Versailles in France. And but you could be in France and start your car up in North Carolina with the app on your phone, whereas your key fob would only work 50 or 60 feet away from the vehicle. This way, if you're in class or if you're doing whatever, you can start up your car and it will be hot or cold by the time you get there. It'll run for 15 minutes and it'll time out and you can start up one more time. But by then it's going to be cold or hot anyway when you get in there. So really, really cool stuff. It also has heated steering wheel. That is not the heated steering wheel button. Trying to remember where it. Oh, it's on this side. Forgive me. They moved it over here. But you do have. I've got the cooled seats on right now. If you mash that button, you have cooled seats, heated seats for your back and butt, heated seats for your back. Right there in 3 different levels: high, medium, and low. Right there as well. These are physical, sort of tactile buttons for the climate controls. But again, you can just tell it whatever temperature you want. You can also mash this, and then you could do all that stuff in this screen as well. But me, I'm using the physical buttons all day long and twice on Sunday. So very, very neat and compelling vehicle, Miss Cissy. I am going to give you a call, and then I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I'll send you the link. But I'm going to give you a call, and I'm going to go over what we call a needs analysis, which is a highfalutin way of saying asking you some questions to identify any additional rebates or incentives that might be available through from General Motors on this vehicle. I will save you a ton of money on this, and it's very, very hard to beat our out the door prices to begin with. But I'd love to earn your business. I'd love to see you again. I'm just so thrilled that these last couple years that we've been talking, but very, very excited. And it's so crazy too that you would have fallen in love with surfing too, the way I did. It's had such a profound impact on my life too, and yours obviously as well. So, but anyway, I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and I will get you the link as soon as I can. I've been gone 45 minutes almost, so it's going to probably take a long time to upload the link. But I'll look forward to speaking with you again here soon to get your sort of needs analysis and rebates and incentives and stuff checked off. But yeah, love to earn your business. Great connecting with you, and God bless you, Miss Cissy.